Obikoya Olaniyiluwatosin. I'm a fish farmer, and I was trained by Mrs. Bakari through a lean project through World Fish. This training has helped me a great deal. There were many that were trained, but from my own point of view, it has helped me a great deal. This area, this training has helped me increase the area of my inventory, my cost of operation, and also how I manage my pond. I was in area before now. When we undergo this training, we are made to understand on how we can manage our pond effectively that will make more gain. So that's what led to my living area to come to Kilamure here, where the cost of water to getting water into the pond is now zero, while I only struggle with getting water out of the pond. That is number one. Also, in the area of my inventory, in the area of my operation, initially we used to go on to and fro to get things to the pond while we were in area. But here, my cost of bringing materials to pond, bringing feeds to pond, and operational cost has reduced drastically because we were told how we can move everything close to the pond and put it there while we use it, rather than anytime you need a thing, you have to go back to town, then you come back in, you go back to town. So this has really helped us. It has reduced the stress, that make us to feel that this fish thing can be done easily without stress. In the area of stocking, I also gain a lot there that initially we overstock, all in the name of we want to maximize profit, we want to maximize the utility of the pond. So we thought stocking more will give you more profit. But after the training, we are made to understand that it's not by packing fish inside the pond that will give you the desired result. For instance, this very pond now is about 30 by 70 in size, and I only have 1,300 pieces of fish inside. As against before that, even when I do pump in water, I can have up to 5,000, 4,000 pieces of fish inside it. When I harvest the last time, my profit was more than what I used to harvest when I have plenty of fish inside. So if not for this training, it wouldn't have been, my eyes wouldn't have opened to it. We were thinking the more you stock, the more fish that are inside the pond, the more your profits needs to have the number. But now with the training, we are made to understand that it's not in the size, the quantity, it is the quality and the space. And that's what really helped me. I want to encourage or say at this junction that if the world fish can still extend this training to my fellow colleagues so that we can all benefit, because it has helped me a great deal. Thank you.
I am Mr. Lazarus Okule, a farmer from Ashigiri Fish and Allied Association in Kwamba, who was trained by Lean technology through World Fish. And the technology was able to help me to open my eyes on how to have eyes in waste and how to reduce it. And I'm able to discover waste in my day-to-day operation, and have reduced it. And not only that, the technology also helped me on how to reduce mortality, because before this time, mortality has been the general problem to me as a farmer. And the techniques were able to open my eyes that it's as a result of overstocking. And since then, I reduced my stocking density, and the mortality problem was out of it. And not only that, I also discovered that the technology has helped me, you know, to crop twice in a year. And not only that, I normally use feed, you know, feed, waste in feed, because as a result of this sinking feed that we're using, so I have to change from sinking feed to floating feed. And that's really helped my production very, very well. And it reduced also waste in feed, that in my feed management. And one of the thing also, as I reduce, I when I turn to floating feed, the rate of bailing water out, bailing water in also reduce by 50%, because since the water don't pollute off, I don't need to also pump off. And the technology helped me to really improve because I started with just 3 ponds. But as I speak today now, I can confidently tell you that I have expanded from 3 ponds to 9 ponds. And the whole 9 ponds are fully stocked with fish. And monthly, I do crop monthly. So, and it has really helped me economically. I am I can see that I'm moving forward. And I also want to thank World Fish for bringing this thing to us in Nigeria because majority of us farmers were just working and nothing to show for it. But at the end of it, I can tell you that the technology is what they should expose to all fish farmers in Nigeria or in aquaculture. It's the way to go.
I'm Afolabi Akinshola by name from Ashidiri Farm. I was trained by Mr. Okole Lazarus through the LINK program sponsored by World Fish. So they taught me how I can stock my fish, how I can manage my farm, how I can manage my storage, and how I can record my inputs into the fish. And it has helped me a lot. Number one thing in my farm, it helped me to, in order for me not to overstock, which has reduced my mortality rate, and it has make my fish to be healthy. So my customer like the fish. So another thing they trained me about is that one of the things that the training helped me is that I did not drain water every time as I used to drain before because the water did not dirty. So it has helped my productivity. Another thing they train me about is that how I can arrange my feed, my inventory in my store. So whenever I'm looking for anything, it has helped me to easily locate the thing and do it. That make my work to be more faster in the farm. Another thing they train me about is the how to record keeping. I have record everything that I'm doing inside the farm, the food that I eat. I pay myself a salary. I record my transportation fare to this place. When I call mechanic to repair my machine, I record everything. It has helped me a lot. I would like World Fish to come to Ashidiri Farm to come and train my co-farmer here. Thank you very much.
My name is Ayolada Ramola, one of the LSME trained by World Fish on the Lean project. And the Lean project has actually opened my eye to waste management, to reduce waste and automatically maximize profit. And looking at it, I would say is one of the best programs that I've ever had in my lifetime, because looking at the way we do things in those days, the little things we don't pay attention to, the little details we don't pay attention to in terms of water leakages, fish mortality, stress management, disease management, and all of that. And we lose a lot in terms of money in the course of producing a batch of fish. That was then. And after Lean project, I've actually seen, my eyes has been opened. I've actually seen very well what it is to manage these things in a better manner. And I've also imparted this knowledge on other farmers in my cluster. They were fish farm village, people who actually had losses in the course of feeding their fish. We try to introduce the Lean project to them, and which has actually helped them to manage their own farm too, and they get more profit today. And also, I do have students in our archery here, which is the Technas archery. Students come every year for their internship, the IT or the CWS, whatever they call it in their institutions. I try as much as possible to impart this same knowledge in them. So wherever they find themselves in the world to come, they would fit very well and be able to manage waste in whichever endeavor they find themselves tomorrow. So Lean project has really done a great thing for me and my household. So I'll give it to the Lean project and the students here. And we're still looking forward to having a time with them to train them on this particular Lean project. And I think that will be in some days to come before the end of their program. we definitely impart this same knowledge in them. And I want to tell you, Lean Project has actually done a great job for me. And today I can boast Lean is one of those things we don't joke with. And we would still want to have more of this program. Thank you, Lean. Thank you, Wordfish.
Hi, my name is Iyade Kehinde. I was part of the training taken by Mrs. Ononduja by Wordfish, and she gathered some few of us together and she trained. And my own organization is into fish farming and also fish feed production. And on both sides, we have been able to gain a lot of experience, get better informed, like in the area of staffing. So we were, a point came that we were overstaffed and the workers were underutilized. Like some of these materials that we have now, at times but maybe some people are working, maybe the work that we have on ground is what 10 people will do, and we have like 15, 20 people here. So they know that it is 10 people that will do the work, and they will just leave the 10 people, the remaining 5 to 10 people just find somewhere to hide. And at the end of the month, they demand for their pay. And we were able to look inward and see that indeed we were overstaffed, and it retained the most effective ones and had the other ones to leave. So that is one aspect, and these are a storehouse, and some of our materials, you can see the way we are able to arrange them now, unlike before that we just put everything together. So we have been able to arrange them properly now, so that we know that the first one that came in has to go out first before we go to the next batch of stock. And talking about inventory records, it has been better. At least I can attest to it that at least when our auditors came to take account of our accounts for the past year, we got a better better remarks from them, unlike previously that there's always series of questions being raised. So by and large, it's been wonderful, and it has improved our productivity, and it has helped us a lot to cut our excess, some of the excesses that has been affecting us and drawing us back. So I really give kudos to those that organize these things, and I believe having this kind of training over time will help our farmers to overcome some of these challenges that have been drawing us back. So it's been wonderful.
My name is Esen Iwat, a member of a CJR Fish Farm in Ejibode, Ogun State. I attend a program called Lean Technology by World Fish, and the program was being conducted by Miss Ononuja. Okay. Before I used to overstock my fish in a particular pond. Like in this kind of a pond, I used to stock up to 7,000 before the training. But after the training, I now noticed that I have to reduce my my numbers of fishes in a particular pond, and I am now stocking just 4,000 pieces on this very pond. And also it has helped me to, be improved in both the growth of the fish and also in the numbers of time whereby I have to drain my water. And next experience that I have is that before I used to feed my fish twice in a day, and there is how it just come, like since I'm using eco flute, when I just come, I'll just open this feed and just pour in the feed without even checking if the fish will be able to consume the whole feed. And then before I know, the water starts getting dirty. But since the training, I have also noticed that I have to watch if my fish are eating what I am giving to them, so that I will not have wastage of food. And also the water is not getting dirty after the training, because I have been able to watch how my fish are being fed, and I make sure that the fish are being fed to their satisfaction. And before I used to feed my fish twice in a day, but after the technology, after the training, I'm now feeding my fish once, and that very once has been very helpful, because I have not experienced fish mortality as before anymore. And secondly, um since I used to drain my water twice before the training, and after the training I now drain my water once in a week. And after that very experience, I also learned that I have not been buying drugs as before again. That means after the training, I have also noticed that I have developed in the area of how I used to train, how I used to treat my fish. I've not been buying drugs as before again, because I now have to learn from the training that I have to watch when my fish are having different kind of changes than what they should. And now I now take immediate action, and I've not been consuming my money on drugs as before again. Like before, these fish will grow up to this very extent. I used to buy drugs like 15 to 20,000, but I can be able to boast that after the training, I've not consumed more than 5,000 naira on drugs in this very area of treatment. And lastly, in the area of how my pond is being polluted, I've been watching to check on how and when my pond should be treated, and if other ponds too are leaking into the pond, because the training has also taught me that I have to check if other ponds are also leaking to my own pond, because that is one of the things that also causes sickness to the fish, and the fish now start having different kind of effects. And in this very area, before I used to use like 7 to 8 months to have this very size of fish, but after the training, I can also be able to boast that the training has been very helpful, because in this very area, if you can see the size of the fish are doing very okay and very very nice in their growth after the training. I've I have been able to know when and how my fish should be able to grow, and time that I have to, sell my fish out, and I shouldn't leave it until they start dying off before I have to sell it out, because the training has been very, very nice and helpful. So I really love this very training to be circulated to other farm and other areas of, the state as well, because the training has been really, really helpful to the society and myself as well. I'm one of the examples that the training has been very helpful to. Thank you very much.